Wrestling fans around the corner and around the world, I'm Dan Marati.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
Baby, SmackDown's in the can. The Royal Rumble's in the can. AEW Rampage is in the can. It's time to talk about the king of sports, professional wrestling, on a brand new Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays.
Wrestling fans, the winter heats up with the return of the Berzerker John Nord. The WWE legend will be back for Wrestling Insider tapings, live episodes, watch-alongs, and cyber autograph signings beginning Sunday, February the 20th. Check out Boston Wrestling's exclusive print that the Berzerker will sign for you live on air. Get ready for 3 big days of the Berzerker John Nord. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com for complete information. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans, VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for Boston Wrestling Sports Back to the 80s Live Wrestling and Fan Fest celebration, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. Meet WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, Axe and Smash Demolition, WWE Hoffer Tito Santana, the Berzerker, and more 80s icons to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session, a VIP exclusive 80s Legends group photo, autographs, pose photos, all before the superstars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow blow the roof off of Memorial Hall. Get your VIP packages and tickets now at bostonwrestling.com for a professional wrestling celebration decades in the making. We'll see you live April the 16th.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. The road to WrestleMania has begun. I'm Dan Marati, along with old J-Fab himself, as many call him, the father figure of what we do here in Boston Wrestling. The man that, after a week of craziness and no-holds-barred interviews and shoots, a man that brings kind of a calming presence to everything that we do. Even though you and I are teaming up to bring the fans the best, on Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall, Melrose, Massachusetts, it's Boston Wrestling Sports MWF Soul Survivor 10. Back to the 80s. It is going to be a night you will not soon forget. Again, VIP packages and tickets on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. MWF Ultra Wrestling is going to be coming back on a weekly basis very soon, Johnny. I don't know who is going to join me in the commentary booth, if anyone, but I look forward to that. I know Howard Miller, of course, will be a big help, as Howard is the stick and glue that keeps these shows together.
Our new ring announcer.
Phil DeCesare.
Yeah.
All right, the man that was the inspired the logo for the brawny paper towels. You don't know. All right. Well.
Wow.
Johnny, we noticed something as we were getting ready to go on air, and I think I already know the culprit. One of the bottles of your soda pop was missing.
The lemon lime, which is the most popular sodas, are the raspberry lime Ricky and the lemon lime. Where's the lemon lime soda?
I think Quincy Rustani stole it. He joined us for, what the heck was it? He was here on, I think it was a Royal Rumble watch-along. Royal Rumble 94 from Providence. And Quincy was eyeing the sodas. He wanted a soda. And I said, no, you can't drink it. For one, you know, it's not like they've been refrigerated and well-kept. They've been decor more than anything. And now here we are a week or so later, and we're missing. He's a hustler. All he wants are free meals, free sodas, and he wants pieces. He wants a refurbished 1978 Honda Matic to rebuild the one that he has now, almost like it's the Terminator.
He's going to rebuild it?
He does every winter, but he needs parts and he needs money to get the parts. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, every year he spends all winter rebuilding it instead of just getting a new one. But
For his little motorcycle.
well, I guess I think he can only use automatics because of his
Hands, yeah.
his life issues.
Yeah,
So
coordination.
that's what works for him. So he goes with what works for him. But I can't believe he stole the soda. He's a hustler.
We can't use the word stole.
Borrowed
We should say,
and
there
drank.
you go. I like that word, borrowed.
Borrowed, drank, and literally flushed down the toilet. Do you trust him now?
I do.
Even though, remember what happened with Reno Chastain when you trusted him with your soda at
Reno is
Memorial
no longer
Hall.
with us, is he?
Reno is now the Palm Bay Playboy down in Palm Bay Beach, Florida.
Ooh, he transferred.
Yeah, you left him with your soda to keep an eye on it, and he kept telling people, go pay down there.
Yeah, and he never paid. I said, Reno, how much money do we make? They paid down the other end.
About 6 cases of Fatball Pop were missing, and I think you had about $6 waiting for you.
That's it.
Oh, Reno, but he's a different story for a different time. Johnny, a lot to talk about in the King of Sports Professional Wrestling, as we noted. The road to WrestleMania has begun. We're going to hopefully have news on WrestleCon shortly. We'd love to be there. I know everybody in Dallas would love to see you. Whether they were soap opera stars or not, that's a different story for a different time. But some of the bigger news that could even be resolved by the time this episode airs, but one of the hottest free agents in pro wrestling right now, where is he going to wind up? Cody Rhodes. If you're Vince, would you roll out the bank to bring Cody back and realize you made a big mistake in letting him go?
I'm going to make my statement or prediction.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes is going to stay right where he is.
You think so?
Absolutely. I do not think, after the stuff that went down with Rhodes, Cody, with his dad, and everything else, his brother, I think AEW is his home. He may be a free agent, and that free agent may just be, what a nice storyline, because there's always that question, is he going to, and he might allude to that once in a while, which keeps the storyline going. AEW as Rhodes is going to stay. He's a major part of that company, and titles mean nothing. You know, I'm only the executive vice president, I'm the janitor, whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, Rhodes stays with AEW.
If you were Vince, where they've wasted so much money on someone like Kevin Owens, you wouldn't make a play to offer Cody several million. You don't think he's worth more than Kevin Owens?
There's no love lost there. I don't think either one.
That's business.
Yeah, but you just proved that with Mickey James. My whole thing is, I don't think, and Cody and I, when I was doing the thing with John, got to Kibitz and his, God rest his father's soul, had a chance to shoot the breeze, and Dusty and I. And then Cody was the one that rescued me, obviously, with Randy Orton. I think Cody has a very high standard. And I think Cody respects this business, and he respects what he and everyone else, Khan, Omega, all those people have built. All those people have built. So I say Rhodes stays where he is, because I believe Rhodes is like me. You don't go backwards, you go forwards.
Well, he said he only wants to wrestle until he's 40. I mean, I don't think Tony Khan is coughing up that kind of cash that Vince could afford to pay him like they paid Kevin Owens. He's got a child now. You know, he's if he really does want to retire at 40, or maybe...
How old is he now?
36-ish.
4 more years? I'd say right where I am. AEW
If you could make more in 1 year with Vince than for the duration with AEW, you don't think it would be a wise move?
No, I don't. You know why? And maybe that's why I don't have any money. In my character, Johnny Fabulous is loaded. John Cena Sr. does not have a lot of money, and I mean that.
You have tons of it.
Yeah, no, I don't. People mistake me all the time for the other John Cena. Wrong guy. So I'm the belief that there are more important things in life than money. And I'm sure Rhodes feels the same way. He's made his mark in this business. He's built a business with AEW. He's a rock at AEW. I truly believe if Rhodes decided to go with WWE, it would be a slap in the face of everyone he brought in and everything he's built.
Is it a slap in the...
You won't see Jericho go back.
Please, are you shitting me?
No, but
you
you
don't
won't-
think Jericho's going to go back to WWE before it's all said and done? I think you're nuts.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think you're nuts. I could be very wrong, but you know what? At the end of the day, if Vince offered him that big, let's say Jericho slows down, even leaves AEW to focus on his singing, and Vince offered him 7 figures to do a WrestleMania, you don't think he'd go back with a big smile on his face? Are you kidding me?
Because with a lot of people, and I'm not singling out Jericho, I'm not singling out anyone, it's all about the payday. I guess that's where I'm different. It's where I'm different. You know, people say to me, well, what's your payday? In some cases, I don't take a payday. Atlantic Pro Wrestling, never took a payday with them. Haven't been back there for a while, but they're a great organization. I just got a call from somebody who wants me to go somewhere else. Well, what's your payday? Take care of my airfare, my hotel, and my meals. That's my payday. And I want you to make a donation to Make-A-Wish. That's simple. So I'm not about the money. I really am not. That's why I have none. Maybe I put a lot of it out for 5 kids.
That's for sure.
But I don't have any.
I know what 2 have cost me. So.
Yep. So I just sit back and say, you know what? If that's your choice, if you're all about the money and not about self-respect, good luck to you, because then you lose my respect.
Well, do you think all the talent that's left WWE, do you look at them differently that went to AEW, that were free agents?
I do not, because I think what you look at is they made a decision not based on money, based on work schedule, based on the way you're treated and how things are done. So when you switch jobs, they didn't leave for more, they left for less. They were gone. So I don't know what they're making, so I can't really comment properly on it. But I sit back and say to myself that, you know what, at the end of the day, I got to look in the mirror. And I've got to say it's okay. When I had my appraisal business, I did the same thing. I'd look at the end of the day and say, I did it the right way. I can put my head on the pillow. When I had the ice cream stand, I did it the right way. I treated those that worked with me. Nobody ever works for me. You work with me. We work together. And I treated them very well. The kids got a $100 bond. There was a $500 bonus. I mean, it was
Free
all
ice
about,
cream?
Well, the kids were in high school going to college.
Would they get free ice cream, though?
Free ice cream? Yeah, it was good. We even had the Dan Marotti ice cream. Looked
Really?
like shit and melted real fast.
I think Quincy might have got a job up there if the ice
sure.
cream was free.
Yeah, so you know what? That's my whole thing. I think Cody Rhodes is a person that I don't think he needs the money. I really don't. I think
I
he's
don't know
built-
if I'd agree with you on that, Johnny. How many big years do you think he really had before he went to AEW?
You know what? I think Rhodes,
To be fair,
he could have gone wherever he wanted to and done whatever he wanted to. I feel so bad that they took a character who had so much potential and did what they did to him.
Stardust.
Oh, what a friggin' waste. Sorry, I don't agree with it.
And then you want to know what I think is even worse than Stardust? After Dusty Rhodes passed away, and they had a chance to really, I think that was the time they could have really
Capitalized.
scrapped the nonsense, brought him back, cut an emotional promo about his dad, bring him back as Cody, have a heel attack him or something like that, and then you could potentially elevate him into the main event scene. Instead, they kept him as foolish Stardust that was never over, nobody cared about him, and bye-bye. Sad, very sad.
that was
A
like-
great waste.
I agree. And so misuse. And once again, I guess I look at what you're saying, and if it's all about the money and not about self-respect, then buddy, sign the contract, go back and get your $3.5 million, and it's over and done with.
If you're going to give someone like Kevin Owens, who I don't think any fan would care about if he never appeared on their TV screens again, $2 or $3 million a year, You can't afford to throw some cash like that at Cody Rhodes? Come on.
Just remember
We disagree. That's fine, respectfully.
But just remember one thing. I may have a $2 or $3 million contract that's kind of like that magic paper you use when you throw fire in somebody's face. All it's going to take is John Laurinaitis to say, hey, I just want to let you know, Kevin, good luck on your future endeavors because we're letting you go.
You think that's how it would sound?
Probably sound a little worse
Raspier,
than that.
yeah. A little rasp.
Hello. Yeah. I just want to let you know you're done. And you know what? So what they've done is, by extending Owens' contract, by offering the big money, is they put him in a position where they could cancel his contract. They've also locked him up so he can't go anywhere else.
I look at it as a waste of money, but it's one man's opinion.
I say congratulations, Kevin Owens, for negotiating a contract in that amount. You've got my self-respect there.
Hey, you know what? As far as him being able to negotiate it for himself, I tip my cap to him. As
Amen.
far as someone that enjoys seeing him on television, not so much.
So why? The question is why?
Why don't I enjoy seeing him on TV, or why did they spend that much money?
There you go.
No, you didn't answer my question. Which one?
Both.
Oh, I find him boring and repetitive at this point. This presentation of him, I shall say.
But we don't find Roman Reigns boring and repetitive, Brock Lesnar boring and repetitive.
Their presentations are interesting.
They're boring and repetitive because they do the same shit all the time. So all I'm saying is, the next question would be, why would you offer that man that kind of money? Show me where he put all those asses in those seats.
A lot of empty ones.
Yeah, well, again, there's a rationale, a reason. Now I've got you. I've locked you in. But remember one thing, contracts are paper. There's a clause that says I can break it. Hang on, the ride's just started.
All right, wrestling fans, the ride is just beginning as we are now just a hair over 10 weeks away from MWF Soul Survivor 10 back to the 80s, Saturday night, April the 16th, from Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts, folks. Those VIP packages and tickets are flying. The price is cheaper now than it'll be the week of the event. And at the door, head on over to BostonWrestling.com. Get the scoop now.
Tickets are on sale now for Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, our live event and fan fest, Saturday, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Mass. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com now. The World Wrestling Federation was live in Columbus, Georgia, Sunday, February the 4th, 2001. In the opening contest, the Haas brothers beat the Samoans. Trish Stratus with the win over Jackie. The APA defeated Edge and Christian. Hardcore Holly victorious over the Big Boss Man. Steve Blackman beat Albert. Chris Benoit with the win over X-Pac. The Hardy Boys defeated Perry Satin and Eddie Guerrero. And in the main event, the WWF World Champion Kurt Angle retained the title over WWF Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho. If you are in Columbus live, share your memories in the comment section below. Keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our renowned Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans, VIP packages and tickets are on sale now for Boston Wrestling Sports Back to the 80s Live Wrestling and Fan Fest celebration, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. Meet WWE Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts, Axe and Smash Demolition, WWE Hoffer Tito Santana, the Berzerker, and more 80s icons to be announced. Take part in a VIP exclusive Q&A session, a VIP exclusive 80s Legends group photo, autographs, pose photos, all before the superstars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow blow the roof off of Memorial Hall. Get your VIP packages and tickets now at bostonwrestling.com for a professional wrestling celebration decades in the making. We'll see you live April the 16th.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marotti.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It was all over bostonwrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now, available on eBay.
Here's your chance to own a piece of history from the 2020 WWE Draft. On the second night, October the 12th, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Alexa Bliss unleashed hell on Andrade and Zelina Vega. This limited edition 11x14 collector's poster is number 26 of only 50 made, personally signed by both The Fiend and Alexa Bliss, direct from friends at WWE. Comes with certificate of authenticity hologram on the poster itself, suitable for framing. You'll also receive a bonus autographed mystery photo and an on-air shout-out as our thanks to you. Get this ultra-rare autographed Fiend and Alexa Bliss poster now.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders. Fabulous Friday. Hope those fans went and got their Back to the 80s tickets on the commercial break. Those VIP packages are truly the best value in professional wrestling when you see what you get with them. The discounts, if you are an autograph collector, you could literally save hundreds of dollars if you get the VIP package. If you want an autograph from everybody,
I would agree with that.
It's a great deal.
It's a great deal. A great deal.
Well, we have always cared about the fans in this organization for the first 20 years, the next 20 years. This one's probably going to outlive me, so he'll be there to see the 20 years after that.
I don't think so.
Well, Mama's keeping the cardio going like Linda Dano and Elizabeth Hubbard did back in the 70s.
These people.
And Miss Mama Bella wanted to, but that's a different story for different time.
God, here we
But,
go.
Johnny, the Sports Business Journal had an interview with Nick Khan of WWE. He says the WWE is not actively looking to sell. Your thoughts on that? Found that very interesting.
He said that several times. But if you read between the lines, we're not actively looking, but if a person like Dan Marotti came along with the right ka-ching, we'll sell.
You think it's like Ted DiBiase's old song, Everybody's Got a Price?
Everybody's got a price, and I'm going to tell you right now, if they work a deal and they sell it, which I think they're getting ready to sell it, Vince will still maintain that big post. Linda.
Well, Linda's not involved anymore.
Well,
She's been gone since '09.
well, that's when she went to work for Trump.
No, that was when she left to run for governor.
Right, right. But then she got involved with Trump.
Well, that was, yeah, after
You know, you got Shane O'Mac, you've got, God, no, here we go. Paul Levesque, he's still there in some.
Kevin Dunn is in there, one of their
Kevin's
top
a hell of a guy.
executives.
He's a hell of a guy. I like him. He's a great guy.
One of Paul Bear and Jim Cornette's favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And his teeth. But anyway,
And you got the daughter.
Stephanie.
I like her. She is, and I said this to somebody once. I said, what do you think about Stephanie McMahon? I said, she is her father's daughter. She is like Vince. Boom, 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 boom. Congratulations. She's just great. She's great. I don't know where we're going. I'll just tell you this. And DiBiase said it, and I'll say it. Everything's got a price. If you look at what they're doing, they've cut that bottom line, so it now shows a bigger profit than it ever did before.
If the bottom line is in free fall, it's been cut so much. You know what I found interesting? The actor Freddie Prinze Jr., who was once married to one of my all-time favorites on the Eyes, Sarah Michelle Gellar. He was a writer with WWE, and he stated that when WWE negotiated the contract with Fox for SmackDown, that they offered to sell WWE in its entirety to them back, and that would have been 2017, I think, when they negotiated the deal, because it was announced about a year and a quarter before it debuted in October 2018. So, you know, I think it's been out there for the taking for a while, but apparently the price was, I don't know if I just mentioned it, astronomical.
Well, there are a couple
They want big money.
So what? There's always a buyer.
Then why didn't anyone buy it then?
Because, you see, people look at it and say, how long is this really going to last? Is it really going to move? You know, in terms of Khan, there are two sayings I like to kid around with. You know, many a truth is spoken in idle jest. And in Shakespeare, thou protesteth too loudly. We're not for sale. We're not actively looking. Yeah. Look at, I'm just happy to say that by CNBC 10 is out there. We put it together with the MWF. It's a great little take. If you get a chance to see it, I'm interested in your comments.
Well,
Give myself a plug.
give yourself a cheap plug, baby. John Cena Sr. on NBC 10 here in the Boston area. Great little video that was shot. Thanks to the help of Howard Miller, who helped edit some of the footage together on the package. I haven't seen it yet, but as usual, you steal the show.
No,
You don't steal the show.
I don't steal the show. You know, I think when you see it, you'll see a side of me that is me.
That Linda and Elizabeth saw. All right. But if you see UFC go for $4 billion, what do you think WWE is looking for?
Oh, 10, 12 maybe. Oh, easy. Easy. With the contracts he has. But there again, like I say, somebody's going to come along and it's going to be
good for our stocks.
I've only got one share.
You have one share. All right. Well,
I'm thinking of buying Peloton. It's down to $27 a share.
really? Well, you already bought a Peloton, so why not some stock in it?
Well, I figure 100 shares. Nike's looking at buying them.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nike, AT&T, maybe Jeff Bezos. You know, if it comes along, do they buy them? Stock's got a split.
I'm ready to cry every time I look at my portfolio.
Well, WWE is not doing well.
But WWE isn't the only one. I look at what Disney was in March compared to now, and I want to cry.
They're really down. They've increased their prices.
Oh, yeah.
That's horrible.
Well,
Universal has lowered their prices.
they have?
Yeah.
When?
They've dropped it so you now can spend 5 days instead of 3. They've really done their
Well, those are vacation packages, not
right, but
tickets.
they've done their marketing. You know, Disney has done away with the yearly pass. It's gone. The cost to get into the park is huge.
And then you got to get it, if you want a little help, you get the Genie Pass, which is an
Put it
extra.
on your phone and hope it works.
Well, I have to say this. When I was there in December, we did do the Genie Pass, and it did help a little bit. But it's an expensive day at the office.
As Mickey Mouse would say, ha ha ha, welcome to the tragic kingdom. I wouldn't go there
You
if
think
you paid
that's what he says?
I would not go there if you paid me.
Well, I would not suggest for fans of Disney to go to the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Saturday night special event that they have from 9 to 1 a.m. I thought that was a little much for $200 a pop.
Or stand in line for 7 hours for a $25 bucket of popcorn.
Well, I don't know if anyone...
Figment, the little dragon.
Figment?
Bucket of popcorn. It's going to be a collector's item, but they stood in line for 7 hours to get that bucket.
They have collector's popcorn at Disney World.
And the bucket.
The bucket is the collector's item.
7 hours.
Now, how much is this bucket going for
$25.
on the second-hand market?
Right now, that'll probably go for close to $125.
Really? I don't think that's worth 7 hours to me. But
I get better things to do in 7 hours than stand in
buy
line
popcorn?
for popcorn. It's like, oh. my son and my son Dan,
Yeah.
Janet, his wife, and Ashlyn, my granddaughter, along with Dan's mother-in-law and father-in-law, Chuck and Dottie, are going down in April.
Are they going to try and get some popcorn?
5 days they're going down for. I can only imagine that 5 days is going to cost between $8 and $12 grand.
For 5 days, I'd say at least 7 to 8. Minimum.
There you go.
Minimum.
And we can go to Universal. I spent 4 days, 3 nights, $2,400.
And let me tell you something. You should see the bill that he got for the sheets after the fact.
Who?
You. Because they were soaked.
Moniz?
They were soaked. All right, Johnny, we got to talk about the fruit of your loins a little bit. Making some,
John Cena?
Yeah, making some comments on the Rich Eisen show. He was a little outspoken about some of the WWE releases. He said it was, looking at it from a different point of view, defensive hiring, which I thought was some really creative vocabulary for one. Defensive hiring, releasing 80 people in the middle of a pandemic as they're making record profits.
I am not going to say anything.
He also followed up with, and this one I think we may be able to debate a little easier. He said if WWE wants to run on a leaner roster, you know, they can run on a leaner roster. My comeback to that one would have been, well, it's more like a welfare roster at this point where it's the same people sometimes multiple times per program.
Yep. You know, I'm going to say this. WWE is John's family. It's his home. It's where he started. It's something he truly loves. It's something he will defend. But he's not afraid to say if it's right or wrong. So I guess you and I look at it a lot differently than he does.
And that's fair.
Yep. So.
He's lived it in a way that you and I never will.
Yep, haven't been there. So I did for 1 year. But outside of that, so that's why I really can't comment on that.
The defensive hiring. Yeah.
Is that a term we use now for letting people go?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some defensive hiring announcements, and we wish them the best in their future endeavors.
I would disagree with this statement, only to the point, and I'll say this, as forget my son, as person to person. If you were in business and you had superstars putting the asses in the seats that they were doing, and you failed to write storylines to continue to make that character grow, such as Braun Strowman, where he was the killer, he was the giant, and then they made him out to be a fool. They destroyed him. Some of the Bray Wyatt, for the life of me, I still can't understand that. So when you say defensive hiring, John, defensive stupidity. Somebody wants to cut that bottom line for a reason. And then you turn around, and as my friend here says, we're going to pay Kevin Owens $3 million. Think of
some of the talent for what you just paid Owens. How many of those guys they've released, not top of the tier guys, but how many quality bodies that if booked correctly, they could have done more with for that $2 to $3 million a year? It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
There are some guys that would right now, I hate to say it, you know, not to be PC, but I mean, they'd get down on their knees for $250 grand a year.
I agree.
There's 12 guys you could bring in for $3 million, and you could get really creative with those 12 guys and do something unique and different other than Kevin Owens, who's been there, done that. I don't know what more there is to do with Kevin Owens. Never mind for several years.
Well, it's like when you look at Owens, a guy like Owens, you look at a guy like Reigns, you look at a guy like Lesnar, you go, you know, really, what's left?
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. They don't have the roster to maintain the level that they want to play at. So, again, John, defensive hiring, you get your opinion, I get mine. I call it foolishness and stupidity. They lost some good superstars, people who were putting asses in seats and making money for the company. Flip side, if they ask for their release, that's their decision. But defensive hiring, wrong words.
I appreciate your son's unique way of presenting his thought, not to offend anyone when he said it. But you know what? Honestly, my impression was he doesn't watch the show all that much because he'd realize the lack of variety and interest that there is across the board in Raw and SmackDown, where again, it's the same people in the same matches and the same skits week after week after week with very, very, very little variety, and during a time, again, where you've had record profits, even during the pandemic, when they weren't even running live events until this past July, you let go of over 80 people. Is there nothing of interest that could have been done with even a handful of those 80 people?
No, I agree with you. But I will say this, in terms of he doesn't watch it a whole lot. I will say this, he does watch it.
He must sleep well.
Whether he watches all 2 hours, I will tell you that very loyal to the product, as you should be.
And I applaud that.
But I will say this, that I don't know how you comment on creativity, direction. You and I can sit here and make all the comments we want. We're not employed by them. And I'm not saying that you need to be nice, because there have been some comments that have come out of them that they're not nice. What's wrong is that maybe somebody's losing control.
All right, wrestling fans, again, if you're watching with us on Friday nights, the Premier Chat box is open. Share your thoughts right along with us. If I haven't fallen asleep yet after a long day at the studio and a long night of watching wrestling, I try and stay up and chat along with you. Or if you're watching after the fact, especially this winter weekend, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Right now, again, folks, all roads lead to Memorial Hall in Melrose on Saturday night, April the 16th. We promise you there's no defensive hiring going on. We hire what we need. We'll be back with more Wrestling Insiders after this brief timeout. Get your Back to the 80s tickets now. For more information, head on over to bostonwrestling.com.
Tickets are on sale now for Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s, our live event and fan fest Saturday, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Mass. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com now. The World Wrestling Federation was live at Utica Memorial Auditorium in Utica, New York, Thursday, February the 4th, 1982. In the opening contest, Baron Mikel Cicluna, replacing Lawrence Sosi, defeated Jose Estrada. Steve Travis with the win over Charlie Fulton. Rick McGraw defeated Johnny Rodz. Adrian Adonis and Jesse the Body Ventura victorious over Tony Gurria and Rick Martel. WWF Tag Team Champions Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito retained over Tony Altamore and Dominic DeNucci. WWF Intercontinental Champion Pedro Morales retained over Killer Khan. And in the main event, Greg the Hammer Valentine defeated my partner in crime, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, via countout. If you are in Utica Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our acclaimed Patreon streaming service, so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston. Wrestling fans, the winter heats up with the return of the Berzerker John Nord. The WWE legend will be back for Wrestling Insider tapings, live episodes, watch-alongs, and cyber autograph signings beginning Sunday, February the 20th. Check out Boston Wrestling's exclusive print that the Berzerker will sign for you live on air. Get ready for 3 big days of the Berzerker, John Nord. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com for complete information.
It hits different live as the road to WrestleMania comes through State College with the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And a new challenger has emerged to dethrone the Queen.
Face me and put your title on the line.
As Naomi battles Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's the WWE Road to WrestleMania Tour, live in State College, March 26th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marotti.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insider's in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now.
Wrestling fans, welcome back to segment 3 of Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays. Dan Marotti, John Cena. Let's see how much we can fit in this final segment, as there's so much to talk about. And what I consider to be some good news, even though it's going to be unique in the way they pull it off, WWE announced that this year both the Hall of Fame and NXT, not TakeOver, but NXT Stand and Deliver, are going to be part of WrestleMania weekend. I think that's great. Your thoughts?
I'm not going to be there.
Why is that?
Haven't invited me.
Well, if we're going to be down at WrestleCon, maybe we'll sneak in.
Well, they should invite me.
Well, I invite you to WrestleCon, so.
Well, I accept that invitation.
All right.
We'll go down there and have some fun, and then, who knows, maybe Vince will say, come to WrestleMania.
He's going to say, you know what, we need to fill 102,000 seats. Who do we need? This guy right here.
My fat ass won't help.
We'll have to wait and see about that. But, Johnny, the way it was portrayed to me is that the Hall of Fame is going to take place Friday night at 10 after SmackDown. And of all things, the NXT Stand and Deliver special is going to take place Saturday afternoon before the first night of WrestleMania. I think that's insane.
Yep.
I mean, how much do they think people can take over 3 days? 4 days with Raw? I'm not trying. I think it's a good idea. I'm glad to see that both events are back with fans this year. You know, the Hall of Fame, even though it drags to some, it's an event that I do enjoy. But do I want to go and see it after SmackDown? And the same thing with NXT Stand and Deliver. Do I want to go at 12 o'clock to that event at Venue X, then rush over to AT&T Stadium for WrestleMania Night 1?
No, it makes
that's
no
too
sense.
much.
Who's planned it? Who's doing all this?
I couldn't tell you. I love the idea on paper. I think in execution, as if that is true, come on.
This time they might be headed for failure. You never know.
Why not Thursday night something?
You have no
There's
argument
nothing
from-
on TV unless you count Impact. I mean, you couldn't have the Hall of Fame or the NXT special on Thursday night?
I'm not a fan of the Hall of Fame, number one.
Why is that? Because you're not in it yet? The celebrity wing?
They'll never ask me. So, you know what? Everybody says to me, I know my role.
The celebrity wing.
I know my role. I have a lot of fun doing what I'm doing. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. So my whole thing is, now that they've cut the speeches, hopefully they'll hold it to a minimum. It's still dull and boring. And the other thing I can say is this. The people that are recipients deserve it. Some of them. And then the other thing, I guess I'm with Paul Levesque on this one. Why do you have a Hall of Fame without a Hall of Fame?
Well, that's we're running low on time. That is a different debate we can have.
We should
but
have that.
I don't think they should have had the Hall of Fame the past 2 years without the fans. I thought the way they did it last year was poor. I didn't even watch it. Having a Hall of Fame in a venue with no people to make bland speeches, it was overbooked on top of it, with people that didn't belong. Again, we could debate that too. Maybe we'll have a Hall of Fame episode once we get a little bit closer to the dance. But I think, again, I'll surmise it again. I think it's great that the Hall of Fame and the NXT, we'll call it big event, are all going to be back for WrestleMania weekend. I just can't believe they're trying to combine it with SmackDown, and especially night one of WrestleMania.
Insane.
Aren't you trying to fill AT&T Stadium Saturday night?
Insane.
You're going to kill people and have to go and pay to park twice at 2 different venues all around Dallas?
Well, what you find out is the Hall of Fame will be empty.
I'm going to guess the Hall of Fame, maybe, if they restructure it, could be at the same venue as SmackDown. And instead of having all the wrestlers that don't want to be there, sit there, bored, you just have the fans be there. Hopefully that won't get up and leave.
What did I say? You know what? I think the Hall of Fame could be done differently. It doesn't have to be on WrestleMania night. It could be the night of the Hall of Fame. Just that one thing tied into another pay-per-view or whatever you're going to do.
We've talked about that, and I think that would really add something special to, if you want to look at the big pay-per-views each year, something like Survivor Series that could use a little sizzle.
A little boost.
You really can't put Survivor Series in a stadium. You know, SummerSlam and Royal Rumble, I think, do well enough on their own.
And what do they do? Have the Warrior thing the same night? Or?
You know what I think of that.
Well, but you know what? I'm up front. Maybe you like me, maybe you don't, but I always tell the truth. As Berzerker says, I do the same thing. Not my cup of tea. Been there, done that.
I think something should be on Thursday night where they have nothing happening.
I would agree with that. But the Hall of Fame really, until they really make it and boost it, sorry.
All right, well. Johnny, hashtag free Ali. Everybody's talking about it. Mustafa Ali got tired of sitting on the sidelines. Apparently, he and Vince had a major clash over creative differences on an idea Vince had for his character, which was taken from the guy who Kofi Kingston almost took the spot of, headed into WrestleMania 35 when he was injured right before Elimination Chamber and was getting kind of hot, to the guy that was the leader of the Retribution faction, which was one of the worst factions in modern day wrestling history, to pretty much doing nothing with, I think his name was Mansoor. One of the elite athletes in professional wrestling, when he's allowed to go, he just wants to wrestle. He wrestled on 0 house shows in 2021. He hasn't been on TV since October, and he took to social media to say that he requested his release, and WWE won't give it to him, despite the fact that they've released half the planet. They won't release Mustafa Ali. Do they think that it would hurt the WWE brand? I don't even know what show Mustafa Ali is on, so I'll just say the WWE brand. Would it hurt them to lose a guy that does not want to be there and has no passion to be there? I say get rid of him if he doesn't want to be there.
I would probably agree with your statement. If you don't like where you are and you don't like doing business with the people that you're with, you know, negativism breeds negativism. So he's really coming down in a negative way. He was supposed to come out with a big statement on why he's asking for his release. I haven't seen that yet.
Well, maybe it's come out by the time this airs.
Yeah,
I don't know,
hopefully. But I'll check. I get a lot of Twitters. I haven't tweeted much. I should start. But
it'd be nice if you promoted the talk show. Wink, 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 wink.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll go on today or tomorrow. You know, I read that. I followed that. Mustafa Ali is a great performer.
Oh, fantastic.
Great performer.
I mean, not the biggest dog in the fight, but for a cruiserweight, modern-day style wrestler, creme de la creme.
The reason I think that they won't release him is because he went public. It's kind of like, oh, really? You think you're bigger than me? Well, let's see who's got the strings now. And so, you know what? If he'd have handled it differently, if he'd have went back to the man he had the disagreement with and said, look, you know, business to business, it's not working out. I would professionally prefer to be released, make it good for everyone. No. The biggest mistake people make is to air their dirty laundry. You don't do that.
Do you think potentially, and I don't know this to be fact, maybe he did privately request it and they turned him down, and he saw the amount of people that were being released and he grew frustrated with the fact that I believe he's in his mid-30s. You know, he's probably closer to the end than the beginning.
Yep.
You know, and he wants to, maybe not make as much as he's making in WWE right now, but go to an AEW, an Impact, a Japan.
Indies. He's even willing to do the
He'd
Indies.
even go to the Indies and go out there, enjoy wrestling, make good money, if not as much as he's making in WWE, and at least say, I am having a fulfilling career. I'm fulfilling my dream of being a pro wrestler. I know he does a lot of great charity work out in the Chicago area. I
Yes, he
believe,
does.
if I'm not mistaken, I think he was a cop before he got into wrestling. Yeah, so he's done a lot of goodwill. He's put a lot of goodwill out there. It would be nice to see it returned to him in a way that makes everybody happy. WWE, you know what? For all that can be said and done, for those that knock WWE across the board, they do have to invest a lot of money in marketing all of these great talents. But at the same time, they have chosen to do absolutely nothing with the guy for the majority of his run there. So if they're not going to do anything with him, why hold him hostage?
Never take on the king. Never. The king is bigger than everyone. And so when you think you can go public, and when you say, I'm going to come out with a statement about what really, really came down, you know what? That's not the right way to do business. I guess he did ask for his release, and it didn't happen. It's not a reason to go public. How much time is left in his contract?
I couldn't tell
Okay,
you.
see? So
What if it's years? Would you want to be stuck for years? Again, as you're approaching probably the later second half of your career, full time?
I would think at some point, ultimately, that they'll let him go. They'll do it.
On their terms.
That's exactly right. Okay, so you can't fight the king. It's good to be king, and that's why I am king. And so you'll play the rules that I say. And so to come out with that kind of stuff, I think he just did himself a disservice, number one. Number one, I respect him. I enjoy his work. I wish we could get him in the MWF.
I was just going to ask you, let's per se Fantasy World, he is available.
Oh.
Would you like to see him April 16th or at a future event?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd like
I
to
would
get Bray
too.
Wyatt.
Well, I have a feeling there might be a little bit of a difference in the economics that go along.
We need a
with
bigger
that.
hall.
No.
We could do a
Do you
stadium.
think if we offered Bray Wyatt, they were always looking for Sister Abigail, Piggott might be available?
Someday, folks, someday he's going to realize,
She wouldn't even need a mask.
oh, I think she's a wonderful human being.
Oh, yeah. When she's at the...
Oh, my.
Oh, see, I went so far on what was
Yeah,
in my
now
mind.
move.
I even got it on.
Move.
You want to talk about releases, though, of people that I would have never let go. The purge of Triple H creative ideas and vision of pro wrestling continues to be castrated with the departures of William Regal and Boston Wrestling MWF original Road Dogg.
Let me tell you something.
Come on.
When
Johnny.
I saw Regal was let go, I went, nah, this is somebody scamming me. This is ridiculous. Never in 100 years. Road Dogg, there's another guy. Maybe yes, maybe no. That's a toss-up. Regal, there's a guy that was there when it started and built the empire. And I'm going, something's not right here. It definitely is not right. Road Dogg, with all his knowledge and ability, and they let him go. The two top guys. And I'm saying, and you're telling me it's not for sale. They're out to destroy NXT.
They've already done that.
Well, it's finished. It's done.
I mean, you'd think, if you just look at raw numbers, you're a smart guy. NXT and AEW were going head to head. Then they separated. They moved NXT to Tuesday. AEW's numbers have gone up. Even though they moved NXT to an unopposed slot on a Tuesday night, the numbers have gone down.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I was devastated.
Oh, was that the Take It Home? Oh, my God, Howard. All right.
When I saw, and Regal and I have had conversations. I don't know him like, hello, how you doing? But we've had conversations in the back. Great human being. Knowledge like you wouldn't believe. it's like Pat Patterson, God rest his soul. What that man had in his head was amazing. And Regal's the same way, and so is Dogg. I cannot, for the life of me, I sit back and this stuff comes up on the screen. People send me emails. Can you believe this? And I'm going, no, this is a joke. It's not true. And then Regal came out and said, no hard feelings. I mean, it's like...
Well, they gave him a great 21 years, and they put him through rehab. So you know what? I think he has a lot of reasons to be happy. Road Dogg.
Why don't we try to get him?
Well, what about Road Dogg? MWF original, former, I think, two-time MWF Tag Team Champion. The fans,
Why don't we try to get them both?
They love the green and black, baby.
Why don't we try to
break
get them both?
it down?
Try to get them both.
Break it down. You know what they could tell Piggott? We got 2 words for you.
I did that in the ring.
You told Piggott to suck it?
No.
Oh.
When at the W, Triple H leaned over the ropes. Said there's a guy out there with a Timex watch. And I went in the ring and did that. I was funny.
In Worcester, right?
I don't know where it was.
I think it was Worcester, the night of
total surprise.
Ozzy Osbourne.
I never expected it.
You never expected it?
I wasn't even part of that.
Really?
Yeah, I was in shock. And Triple H and him and HBK's beside me. He goes, "No, when he does that, remember, it's suck it, right?" Okay, I don't know if I did it right, but it was fun. But anyway, I think Regal would be a good grab for the '80s.
Well, he really wasn't around
Dogg.
then. But
What's that?
He really wasn't around then.
But you know what? I understand that. But why not just special guest referee?
Well, I think he could hold a tremendous seminar for the young talent. I mean, imagine the knowledge if you could pick his brain for a couple of hours, and even Road Dogg. I mean, man, what are they thinking?
I think you've got an opportunity here. Whether we can afford it or not is another story. Well, I tell you what, you just asked the question, what are they thinking? I do not believe they are thinking. I do not believe that. And I you know what? As much as I respect Vince and the family and everybody else that's involved, I do not think they are thinking. Because if they were, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing, and the storylines would be 150% different.
Well, here's how I look at it, Johnny. I think when it comes to any wrestler release, it's subjective. I think when it comes to building the future of your company, to build the best athletes, the most intelligent athletes, the most well-rounded athletes possible, you want to have your best at your performance center. And I don't think there's anyone that can tell me that the performance center improves without William Regal and Road Dogg there.
I'm with you 100% on that.
We can argue about the 84 or so wrestling releases all day long. But is that performance center any better without those 2 men?
I'll bet you AEW snaps up both of them.
I have heard that Regal is either pretty close or he has a pretty good offer on the table from Impact already. Road Dogg, I don't know about, but I could see, I think it would be Brian would have a lot of fun going back to work with Billy Gunn and AEW.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be a great team, and I think
well,
Regal,
hopefully not wrestling, but
I think Regal should be back there with AEW too.
Well, I mean, again, how many spots does AEW have before they run out?
Yeah, but you know what I say? If you can build an encyclopedia, you can conquer the world. And you put all that knowledge, Anderson, Gunn, Regal, even Mark Henry, you start putting that all together, just think of what you have. They let it all go. Why? Because they're going to end NXT? I wonder what kind of severance they got. Other than, midnight, see you later.
Probably 90 days. Or if they were employees, they were probably employees, so I think that would be treated different, would it not?
Yes, it would.
Yeah. So what would that be, 2 years or 2 weeks for every year they were there or something like that?
Yeah.
With Regal, that could be high.
And then there's no non-compete clauses.
Because I know Jerry Briscoe, because of his length of time there, his severance package was over a year. I don't know if I should have said that.
No.
But I mean, that's just work. You know, I think most people know that from the workplace. But
I think what's got to happen is Regal, I don't recommend Impact Wrestling.
Why? Maybe he's someone that could take them to the next level as far as the talent goes. No?
You know what? They've got talent.
It's improved.
They've got, yeah.
D'Lo's done a great job as the head of talent relations.
I agree.
Tip of the cap to our friend D'Lo Brown.
Yep, I agree. No, I agree with that. Well, maybe there is hope. You know, maybe...
They're still in business, so there's hope. It's not like Ring of Honor, which is...
I see AEW and Impact becoming one.
Even though you think maybe that's why WWE is trying to become a little friendly with them.
Yep.
With Mickey James and the Iconics offer.
I see AEW becoming, an Impact becoming one. Ring of Honor is down the drain. That's over.
Was it ever up the drain?
No, I'm sorry.
And I hate to say that for the athletes, because no one deserves to lose their job. But you know what? The company itself deserved it just because, you know, their parent company had more money than WWE and they invested nothing in them. Ring of Honor should have been AEW. Look at the talent that left
I agree.
Ring of Honor to go to AEW.
I agree with
They
you
were all
100%.
there.
And I'll tell you, Ring of Honor had a lot of great talent, and they still do. They still do. Where these young men and women are going to go now?
Well, Brody King is signed with AEW. PCO, the former Quebecer Pierre, and his monster character are going to Impact.
Pierre, did I work with him? Heavy guy, beard, does the Mad Dog with Sean bit?
No. But anyway, wrestling. Oh, another great one, Johnny. Just with all the great news we discussed, of WWE re-signed Sami Zayn to a multi-year contract, which I have about as much interest in as diarrhea. But
I saw that, and I said, foolishness? Foolishness.
you talk about the epitome, again, forget about Kevin Owens if nobody cares. There is someone I have less than zero interest in. He looks like he's the roommate of Oscar the Grouch the way he's dressed. He looks like he just popped out of a garbage can. I don't find the comedy funny.
No.
I don't think the wrestling is all that great.
No.
There's just nothing about that man that I want to see. And for all the quality talent that they've let go to an AEW, you could say, well, Kyle O'Reilly really doesn't have the WWE look. Does Sami Zayn, is Oscar the Grouch's cousin, have the WWE superstar look?
But there again, I renewed your contract. Remember, there's a non-compete in there. Contracts go away like the clouds when the sun comes out. So
Sammy may not last several years. I don't know why he would have lasted an extra day.
I mean, look at Cam Zagami.
Who?
We took care of that guy.
Who?
Cam Zagami.
I don't know him.
I put him up on my shoulders and gone.
Well, I think he probably enjoyed being up on a man's
All right,
shoulders.
moving right along. Here we
All right,
go.
wrestling fans, we are running out of time, which encourages you to head on over to BostonWrestling.com. VIP packages and tickets are flying. They're on sale now as Boston Wrestling presents Soul Survivor 10, Back to the 80s Saturday night. April the 16th at Memorial Hall. We're talking Pigottville, baby, Melrose, Massachusetts. Get yours now. VIP exclusive Q&A, group 80s icons photo, autographs, post photos, all before we light up the squared circle with the superstars and legends of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, like Times Square on New Year's Eve, baby. For John Cena Sr., Linda Dano, Elizabeth Hubbard, I'm Dan Marotti. We'll see you next week on Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays. Until then, you and yours, be well, be healthy. Good night from Boston.
Hi, this is Phil DeCesare. Thank you for enjoying tonight's Wrestling Insiders. Get early full-screen ad-free access to all our weeknight Wrestling Insider episodes while helping keep wrestling legends working by joining the Boston Wrestling Patreon family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. You can directly help us bring you more great historical wrestling content 7 days a week to enjoy for years to come.